Hello and welcome to NewsFirst Prime. This is Archana Ravi Kumar. Surgery itself is very stressful. Post-surgery is very challenging too. Challenging in terms of doing our own work too at times. As simple as wearing your clothes can get very difficult. This is true in case of frozen shoulders too. We have two budding entrepreneurs who've come up with a wonderful solution for this. Come, let's talk to them, know more about their product. Welcome to our show, Saritha and Nalini.
Hi, Archana.
Very curious to know what this product is about because I've seen my mother too suffer from frozen shoulders and things like that. So how is it? Can I have a look at your product?
Sure. So thank you for giving us the introduction. Just to add a few more things about our product and our journey. We have frequently seen people struggle with regular clothing or the traditional clothing when they have one body part which is having an immobility. It could be a short-term immobility or a long-term immobility, say because of stroke or simply because of age. When people struggle to wear clothes, their general dignity and self-esteem comes down and they are unwilling to participate in social activities. And that's when we thought that maybe this is a good problem to address and a lot of people will benefit, both the user and their immediate family and friends. And that's what we are going to show. Those are the products we are going to show.
And to add to what Nalini said, a brand is called Anucool. Anukulavagi hagbodu anta adra concept.
Sounds very cool also.
Yeah, actually. So the other aspect to it is that we didn't want the clothes to be boring. Cheerful clothes when we wear, we automatically feel cheerful and we feel cool. So that's...
Yeah, otherwise also the atmosphere is very gloomy after the surgery. So clothes definitely make you feel good.
We'd love to show our products.
Definitely. We'll have a look at it.
Sure. So what we are going to show is a kurti that's suitable for ladies. As you can see, these are good looking prints that we have, and this is a kurti that opens up completely from the front, and we have secured it with velcro like closures. So let us say that we have a patient who has had, say, a wrist surgery, and I'm going to pretend as if my right wrist is injured and I cannot move my right hand. So it is very easy to wear this outfit without moving my injured arm. And because there are easy velcro straps, I don't need to fumble with every individual closure.
And that's absolutely amazing. That's what I think the patients need also. Without anybody's help, wearing your own clothes matters a lot, especially after your surgery and all that.
That's true. Saritha, do you want to show some of the men products?
Sure. These are shorts. Again, they look like regular shorts with pockets and all of that. But what's different in these shorts? It opens from the side. So, if I've just undergone a knee surgery, I can't bend my leg or something like that, then I can just wrap it around on one side. And similarly, if I wrap it around on the other side, I can easily wear my pant. So, something like this. And similarly, we have this t-shirt, which is so somebody who has had a shoulder injury and who can't even move their shoulder a bit and they need to wear a t-shirt, they can just slide it through their neck and then the opening is fully there on both sides. So based on whichever side they need it open.
That's wonderful.
Thank you, Archana.
In addition to these functionalities that we showed in these garments, we have taken care to make sure that all our fabric is 100% cotton. That way, we are taking care of the weather conditions across India. It is easy to care for these fabrics. You can either conveniently hand wash them or put them in the washing machine and take care of these clothes like how you will take care of any other outfit of yours.
Actually, I'm so curious to know, how did this journey begin? See, Saritha was working for Google and you were working for Citibank. How did this whole thought process of, coming up with your own garment line come up? It's and something so interesting also. It's not the regular kind of clothing also.
So you can notice that whenever there is a new startup that is coming in the landscape, market landscape, it is always spurring from a personal story, right? So even in our case, we have a personal story. I think, Saritha, you're best positioned to explain that.
Yeah, as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. So that's so true in our case. My mother-in-law was struggling with acute frozen shoulder and she was not able to lift her hand. So over the course of a year, she struggled a lot and it impacted her in so many different ways. Like she would stop socializing or attending functions and stuff like that because it was very difficult to fit into regular clothes. And at that point, I was in search for special clothing. I used to look for it in Myntra, Amazon, Flipkart, everywhere. I couldn't find it, but in the comment section, if I would go and try and see, there are a lot more people like me looking for it. And eventually, when we discussed with a lot more friends and family, we figured out a lot more people are struggling with this. This whole line of clothing is called adaptive clothing. In the Western countries, there are a lot of options for adaptive clothing, but in India, there was no one doing it. So we thought we need to solve this challenge. And that's when we jumped right into it.
How was it, quitting your jobs and getting into this? See, that's job security is always there, right?
Absolutely.
So once you leave the job, you'll have your own challenges. What were the kind of challenges you faced?
I must say that I'm very lucky. Both of us are very lucky to have incredibly supportive family who supported us right from day one. For me, I think the whole fact that the feedback that we get from patients when they are wearing it, the independence that they get and the impact that we're creating with this, the happiness that they get, that is what keeps me going every day and definitely looking forward to the journey ahead also.
Now, how difficult was it? Like, for instance, from the clothing to the whole thing, stitching it and marketing it. That is not an easy job, right? How did you start?
We cannot lie. The struggle is real. For multiple reasons. Reason number one is neither of us come from a business background. We are all corporate people, right? Neither of us have a background in medical science or in garment industry. So we had to research, talk to people, take surveys, learn, iterate, make mistakes, go to the next step. So this is a constant thing, but it is a very rewarding thing because in corporate, we don't, when we do a code, when we put a code into production, we don't know who's going to use our software. We don't know who's the end user. But in our case, we know who the end user is. We can really see the smile on their face. That, like Saritha said, right, that is a huge motivator for us to pursue and feel that the struggle is worth it. But it is a lot of learning. Every startup's journey is very unique. Nobody can mimic what the struggle the other person has gone through, right? So the struggle is real. But we eliminate one struggle and then we go on to the next one and we have each other. So that's how we push it forward.
And I've also seen a couple of videos of yours of 1 minute challenge.
Yes, would you like to try that?
Definitely, why not?
Okay, so let's try it with this kurti. Okay, so this kurti needs to be worn under 1 minute, but there's one condition. You can't lift one hand. So which hand are you not going to lift?
Maybe my right.
Awesome. Okay, let's go for it.
Oh, I completed with less than a minute. Nah? Yeah. All right. Okay.
You won the challenge, Archana.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So, Archana, now that you wore our garment, what do you feel about the touch and feel of the fabric?
I feel it's very good, that the cotton feel is very soothing, I must say, without any pricking anywhere. It's wonderful. It's very comfortable. Definitely, this is what a patient will definitely want, right? At those points of time, especially, very nice. Fabric is really good. So even buying clothes, like how did you, I just want to know about the whole process actually, even looking for clothes, we want to buy it in wholesale things. Was it difficult looking for people around that way?
So buying fabric in bulk, understanding the correct type of fabric that is soothing against the skin, especially, the skin is very tender and sensitive after a surgery. What is the right mix of cotton, right blend of cotton? We actually went through a textile workshop to learn more about it. I bought a couple of textbooks from the textile engineering syllabus for our learning. And the experiment keeps happening. YouTube has a rich content. Google has rich content. So we keep speaking to manufacturers to understand what will be the most ideal blend of fabric that can be used for this. Purchasing fabric in bulk is a learning that we are still doing. Skills of negotiation is something that is still an ongoing learning.
Yeah, I mean, because although you'll have the thought in your in your mind, putting it on, like, I mean, explaining the whole process to a tailor who can actually stitch accordingly.
lot of thoughts go behind it. Maybe I can compare and contrast what we do between, we give a sari to our local tailor, stitch a blouse and give it to me. Pico, falls, blouse. So that is a standard package that we ask for, right? So there creativity comes to the fore, right? Fitting comes to the fore. But here, functionality comes to the fore. So what we need is somebody called as a tech pack designer. So that person gives exact dimensions, exact length measurements of where the Velcro has to be placed, the dimensions of the Velcro patches, what should be the length of the garment, how loose should it be. So that is a technical specification in itself. That is something we turn around it to the manufacturers. Manufacturers use this as a guideline and they create samples and get our approvals. Once the approval is done, then we speak about timelines, price, how many units have to be manufactured, how many sizes, colors, all of these discussions happen. And on one fine morning, we get the production output.
I know you actually researched in textile, healthcare, so many things too, actually. Must be very challenging also.
And very fulfilling too at the same time.
Yeah, that is most important. No? Like, job satisfaction is most important. So how did the first sale of your product happen? How is it actually going? How are people receiving it?
See, our huge pillar of support is our family. They are equally proud about us and they have been very stringent with their feedback as well, because they are very particular that the final output is perfect or at least near perfect. And it is only through them that we got our first sale as well. So, they had posted it in their friends group, their apartment societies, and from one of those WhatsApp groups was when the first sale happened. And then one thing led to the other, the word spread. And so that's how our first sale happened. And if I have to speak about how our traction is, how we are making sales on a day-to-day basis, right? So we are having a good response from both institutions in the form of, say, hospitals or rehabilitation centers, and also directly from our website, direct to customers. The D2C sales is also pretty satisfactory because we are seeing that not only the end users themselves, or it is also their children or their siblings who buy on their behalf. So we are getting a good response from both of our sale channels.
So what is your learning from Anucool?
I think first learning is to be humble, to be patient, to put your ego behind, put your head down and work. Because it takes time to get somewhere, even if it means, just to get an appointment from a doctor, waiting a long time and just getting the chance to talk about our product is a lot of waiting and it's a lot of frustration sometimes. But, having that goal in mind and then just pursuing day after day, solving challenges as it comes and just keep going. That is like the first learning I had. Second, I would say, is the power of teamwork. I am very fortunate to have an amazing co-founder with me to, just trust her with the things. Sometimes, not always that, we'll have the same opinion about how we should go about things. But the fact that she also has the best interest and I also have the best interest, and trusting each other and going ahead, that is something I think we have achieved a lot more with the diverse perspectives that we add. So definitely I say teamwork.
So wonderful to know about your team. So were you friends before this?
Our friendship was fostered by our children's friendship. So her son and my son, they are like best friends in the apartment. And as we had to help them play, we became good friends ourselves, and we found that a lot of our thought process, a lot of our perspectives are in sync, and we have a very wacky sense of humor. Half the times our jokes can be understood only by each other. And so that helped us to start a venture together.
Wonderful. So what are you doing with the marketing strategy? See, because you work for corporate, sitting within the four walls is a lot different than going out and actually selling your product. How difficult was it and how are you doing it?
Absolutely. It was very difficult. So for us, marketing, it works in two ways. One is the B2B model, where we have tie-ups with hospitals and some senior citizen homes and some clinics. And apart from that, we have our website, www.anucool.net, where people who browse online, they can come and see our products and they can directly purchase it right from there. Yes, it was challenging because we are not from the healthcare background, and entering this field and learning the nuances of injuries and what gets impacted, how it gets impacted, what kind of clothing will solve what kind of use cases, that is a lot of learning in itself. So we are learning as we go, and yeah, hoping for the best.
I hope that through this video, our viewers become aware of our product. This is a new concept in the market, but it's a very useful concept. I hope people who are struggling with regular conventional clothing will be benefited through our product.
So what would be your advice for young startup, entrepreneur? You know, Bangalore is a place famous for startups, right? Every third person has a startup. So what would your advice be to such people?
I would say make sure that your goal is very tangible. Make sure that you are trying to solve a very real problem that impacts people. Stay very resilient, because success is not going to be quick and success is not going to be consistent. Right? So be very resilient and always be ready to learn, because be it the technology landscape or the user needs landscape, it is changing at a very blinding speed. So if you have these three key ingredients, I'm sure success will stay with you for a prolonged time.
If any of you are looking for our clothing, you can head to our website, www.anucool.net, Anucool as in ANUCOOL.net. We have a lot more options than what we have shown here. We have a lot more patterns and designs, colors and sizes. So please do check us out. And Archana, it was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for hosting us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think as viewers, you know where to go shopping for these kind of clothing. So for more such content, keep watching News First Prime.